Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another NIKKE reaction. Today, I'm going to be listening to Arcane Bloom. I was going to react to the one that Genetic Saver put in the comments of the last video, and turns out I've already heard that song, Black Stallion. Didn't realize I did, but I have heard it. I don't even remember where. I don't think it was even in the game. I just know I've heard that song, so I ended up having to stop that recording. It was just like, well, c'est la vie. So here I am listening to this one, purely because I want to hear the music that came out of this event. I haven't heard any of it. As per usual, I played with mute on so I don't hear these songs just in case people request them, and I've gotten curious, especially since I saw that this one was composed by Feryquitous. So that's always an interesting thing. So I don't know what this is going to sound like at all, given that I know that the whole dating sim aspect of 2x2 was there, and I've only ever heard Feryquitous do heavier music or kind of jazzy stuff, so it's like, ooh, where could this go? So without further ado, let's go! Ooh, okay. Ooh. Minor drop there. Oh, I love that. It's that theme. That's so cool. What an arrangement. I don't know the name of this song. I just know it. You know why I know it. Is this just a rearrangement of that theme? It is, okay, yeah, I just saw the text on the bottom of the screen. So it's Feryquitous. Feryquitous wrote this song originally? I didn't know that. That'll be cool enough to make this a video. That's neat. I can't think of the name of that song right now. I knew it at one point. So Shofin made this arrangement of this song for this event. Ooh. Ooh. I thought it was just like a motif thing at first, but no, this is the song. Huh. Comes again. Beautiful arrangement. Catch me off guard with those little woo. I can't remember if I have this as my command center theme or if I have it as one of my main screen rotation songs. Because obviously it's in there for the opening of the game, or it was. I'm not sure if it still is. The April Fool's Day event kind of messed up all of my understanding of how they handle that. And like I said, usually I start it muted just in case, but it's all piano too, so I think I can pull some stuff out to talk about with this. It's a beautiful arrangement. I just didn't anticipate it to be straight up an arrangement either. All right, so I'll be the first to admit this song, the way it's played, is just too far above my actual play and skill level to be able to demonstrate much. But this arrangement has a few cool, noteworthy parts. Also had to find out that Arcane is the song that I was thinking of that I've heard before. I think I did a video on that one, but I also have it added to my rotation in the game, so that's why I recognize this. It also makes sense. I totally forgot that that song was related to this character specifically, mostly because that tends to water itself down when you're just hearing it attached to anyone on the rotation, so apologies there for forgetting that that was her song. Totally makes sense in that hindsight, but I just really didn't think about it. But this song is interesting because the original is in C sharp minor, and this one is in E flat minor. Now it'd be like, okay, well, they're both minor keys, so you're going to get the same kind of energy going with it, but those are not like enharmonics at all. They're not keys that share a bunch of different chords or anything. It's just kind of an interesting situation as to why they do work the way that they do, because like one has more flats and sharps than the other does. So even then you'd be like, well, there's going to be no real identity to pull from as far as the relationship goes. But the structure of these chords in general actually share a structure in the key. And that pattern is minor, diminish, major, minor, minor, major, major. That's just the structure of the chords within the key. Like I said, both are different chords within the key, but they follow the same structure. So you can immediately pull the same energy from the song that you could with another one. That's not necessarily mutually exclusive, but it definitely helps, even if they are completely different keys. But they share just enough where you're able to transpose everything basically one-to-one into that key without having to worry about anything sounding weird, off, or just out of place. That's why this version sounds so similar to me compared to the other one. And I was like, oh man, is that just straight up the same key? They're really not. It's just that they follow such a similar structure in that way that you can make them work out and kind of figure out how the song would structure itself in the new key pretty much flawlessly. There's really no other argument. It would just change the overall energy of this song, much like this one did. So this song just obviously has a lot more of this bittersweetness to it. I mean, the original definitely did. Alchemy had its own bittersweetness, but it was also, in my opinion, a little bit brighter and softer. This one has a little bit more of this, like, I don't know if I could call it bittersweetness. I almost said depressive energy, and not really, because it does still have that like hopeful lilt to it. And I think a lot of that is probably because of how close they are in their chord structures. And it's like you're going to get a similar progression because your progressions would be basically the same when you get down to the options. Like if you follow the 1, 4, 5, 2, whatever you do, whatever pattern you want to go for, you are going to get basically the same sort of progression out of that. And a great example of this would actually be the 1, 6, 7 progression, which is very popular for both of these keys and would showcase this very well. So to start out with the E flat minor, we have this. That would be that progression for this. And then for the C sharp minor, we would have... And as you could probably tell, those share just enough to sound super familiar and super close without taking too much of the identity away natively. So this song is able to lean into that and borrow a lot while also making the entire song feel a little bit more downtrodden and exhausted compared to the other one, just based on what notes are being played here and what chords are being utilized. Then there's also ones like there is the B chord in both of them. So you have stuff like that, where the B chord in one of the keys is a B, and the B chord is technically a C flat for the other key. So it's the same exact chord, just a different name for it based on the key and how all of that works. It's music theory. Things get a little bit messy sometimes. But as a result, I love a lot of the things that Shofin was doing with this one. I think they had an amazing eye or ear, I suppose, for that detail of like, how do I approach this? How do I make this sound just a little bit more somber at moments? Because that's what you would use for a song that's supposed to be like this, you know, in these moments of having these really one-to-one conversations with the character and reflecting more on their story and how they feel, getting these emotional beats out there and having a lot more flexibility with where you can go to there, and also borrowing some chords, like I just mentioned, where things can be utilized to bring it back around. So this is just one of those beautiful songs that has so many avenues for exploration while literally doing that. I mean, this entire song is basically a solo act when it comes to this arrangement, and it just sounds so beautiful. I especially love this one moment that was just kind of sitting on the E flat there, and it sounds like something like a railroad crossing or something. Like you would have that moment in an anime, for example, where just like you stop and the train is there and you're having that one-to-one. I wonder if that was intentional or if it was just a coincidence of using that exact same note, because that is actually a very popular note for railroad crossings, at least in the US. I'm not sure if that's a thing in other countries, at least the same tone. Every country's kind of got their own standard for that, because I love that they start there and then they kind of shift over to the one below it before continuing on and just doing that pass and keeping that story moving. It doesn't just stay on there for so long that you're just like, oh, is this just supposed to be a droning noise? It's like, no, there's still movement happening. There's still story happening. And they're able to do that and keep you invested in that while there's all of these emotional ties and things being thrown at you. And again, the different avenues that this song takes constantly. There are moments in here that feel like a bomb was dropped, like an information bomb, where you're just like, whoa, I didn't know that about you. Holy shit. And it just has that moment. And again, beautiful for this and for this event. And obviously I've done the stories, I've read everything. I learned a lot more about Arcane, and it's just like, okay, cool. This is fucking sick. And that this song reflects that so well. It's like, sure, I didn't listen to it while I was doing the story, but now I'm able to do that retroactive thing of placing it in all those moments, every single one in my head at least, where I was talking with her, this song was playing now. And I'm like, oh, and I'm starting to piece things together on that front where I'm like, oh yeah, that would make a lot of sense, especially at this moment, you know, like these different emotional beats that they had. And yeah, it's just, it works that way. I don't know what Privities would sound like at all. I don't know if it's another just arrangement of this. It's probably an arrangement of a character theme for her. I'm not entirely sure, but I guess I might have to find out. If you guys are interested in me hearing that and seeing what's up, it might be an original song for all I know, but either way, I love this arrangement. This has so many cool little things, and especially that relationship of the keys being slightly different, but close enough that they're able to share this common ground of tone without shifting too much of the blame onto one of the other songs if it sounds a little bit too different. They can really stay close to each other, and I think that there's a poetic message in that due to what this event was all about with the whole dating thing and the relationship and kind of just learning about each other and trying to peel back some of the layers to get to know each other a little bit better. So that being reflected in the music and the themes borrowing those keys and what's going on there. Oh God, it's just so cool. Again, in hindsight a little bit, but in the best of ways. But I think I've yapped enough about this one. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from NIKKE, maybe Privity's song, for example, let me know in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!